Welcome back to Royal Family One, the podcast where truth matters, integrity matters, and where we refuse to let biased commentators, desperate tabloids, or agenda-driven analysts define the legacy of Harry, Meghan, William, or Catherine, Princess of Wales. If you're here for real royal analysis, not the twisted circus, you're in the right place. Today's episode exposes the latest manufactured storm around Meghan Markle's Netflix series With Love Meghan, a charming, uplifting show that critics are scrambling, truly scrambling, to tear down. And of course, as usual, their attacks do not survive even light scrutiny. But as we break down this so-called controversy, we're also going to highlight the resilience, strength, and grace of the Sussexes and the Waleses, the four individuals who, despite non-stop criticism, continue to show class, leadership and heart. Settle in, because what you're about to hear is the truth the tabloids cannot handle. Let's start with Meghan's special. The moment With Love Meghan dropped, the programme attracted viewers who appreciate joy, warmth, community, and a different way of doing holidays. But within hours, the very commentators known for never watching anything before reviewing it suddenly declared the series a failure. They didn't critique the content. They critiqued Meghan herself. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams, a man whose entire career depends on attacking Meghan, rushed to the microphones to declare that the Duchess is trying too hard to emulate Princess Kate. The irony? Meghan has never tried to emulate anyone. She built her own life, her own brand, her own path, long before royal commentators learned how to spell her name. This comparison tactic is an old media trick. When Meghan shines, they panic. When Meghan is happy, they panic. When Meghan creates something wholesome, they panic. And their solution? Force a rivalry with Catherine. But here's the truth. Meghan and Kate are two women succeeding in two different lanes. The only people insisting otherwise are the commentators who need these feuds to stay relevant. Fitzwilliams claims Meghan's positivity is relentless. Imagine criticizing a woman for being positive during a holiday special. Imagine being so determined to attack Meghan that her joy becomes your problem. The deeper issue here is clear. Meghan's success with Netflix, her ability to deliver content with style, humanity, and reach, makes the critics uncomfortable. Meghan's show is not just a television program. It is a symbol of independence from the institutions and media forces that once tried to control her. And that frustrates people who built entire careers on portraying her as helpless. But let's look closer at their narrative. Fitzwilliams claims the show lacks substance. What they truly mean is that it lacks scandal, it lacks drama, it lacks the negativity they have been feeding off for years. Meghan refuses to provide the toxic content they want, so of course they claim her content is boring. Because positivity does not sell tabloids. Healing does not fuel online clicks. Love does not feed the commentary circuit. Here's the irony. The same people saying Meghan's content is not working admitted that the Netflix deal was extended. A company like Netflix doesn't extend anything that isn't working. This is data-driven decision-making. Hollywood is not sentimental. It's strategic. If Netflix decided Harry and Meghan remain a valuable creative partnership, that is the real story. But you won't hear that from the critics. The next part of their attack focuses not on Meghan's work, but on her personal family relationships. Fitzwilliams lectured Meghan about how she should behave with her father during this medical emergency, as if he has any moral authority to comment on such private matters. Suddenly, people who spent 6 years demonizing Meghan's family background now want to lecture her about how she should respond to an estranged parent. Thomas Markle's medical emergency is tragic. A severe health crisis is a heartbreaking event for any family. But commentators using this moment not to offer compassion, but to weaponize guilt against Meghan is disgraceful. They are not concerned about Thomas Markle. They are concerned about keeping Meghan in the headlines at any cost. Meanwhile, they conveniently ignore the long-documented history of betrayal, privacy violations, staged paparazzi deals, and public attacks that deeply damage that father-daughter relationship. These commentators pretend none of that happened. But let me ask you, if any one of them had their privacy breached, their letters sold, their family manipulated by tabloids, would they run back with open arms, or would they enforce boundaries? They know the answer. They just don't want Meghan to have the same human rights they would demand for themselves. And yet Meghan still reached out according to multiple sources. She acted with compassion. That is the part they refuse to acknowledge. Because acknowledging her compassion destroys their entire narrative. They also claim her show is failing. Yet global viewership numbers tell a different story. The series found an audience. The holiday special sparked social media trends. Clips went viral. Discussions erupted. People are watching. People are reacting. People are engaged. The only people not engaged are the ones being paid to pretend no one cares. Let's give credit where credit is due. Meghan delivered something warm, soft, human and festive at a time when the world desperately needs warmth. It takes courage to produce something joyful in a world addicted to negativity. And Meghan did it anyway. Now let's shift to Harry. Critics love to pretend Harry is inconsequential. But Harry remains one of the most compelling global figures today. He has star power, emotional intelligence, and the ability to connect with audiences in a way few royals ever have. Netflix knows it, Hollywood knows it, late-night hosts know it. And let's be honest, when Harry steps in front of a camera, people tune in. He is charismatic, funny and natural. This is why the Sussex partnership remains strong. Let's move to William and Kate, because critics also love to use Meghan as a weapon against them. Not here. William continues fulfilling his role with dignity and a focus on real, tangible impact. Kate continues to represent the crown with grace and discipline, balancing family, duty and public work. These are 4 individuals, Harry, Meghan, William and Catherine, who did not ask for media-manufactured chaos but navigate it with resilience. The real division has always been driven by commentators, not the royals themselves. And now we return to Meghan's show, which critics claim might be the last. This narrative is fiction. It is wishful thinking from commentators whose careers depend on Meghan failing. Because if Meghan keeps winning, their relevance continues to shrink. The truth is simple. Harry and Meghan are still creating, still producing, still delivering, still partnering with Netflix, still building their foundation, still growing their brand, still standing strong. And that strength terrifies those whose entire identity revolves around tearing them down. Now, before we wrap up this segment, I want to address something important. No matter how hard the critics push, no matter how many narratives they invent, Meghan's value is not determined by commentary. Her value comes from the work she creates, the compassion she displays, the influence she holds, and the global community that continues to support her. And that includes you listening right now. Thank you for being part of Royal Family One. If you appreciate content that cuts through the noise, defends truth, and uplifts those who deserve respect, please take a moment to subscribe. Your support helps this channel grow and helps us continue speaking honestly and boldly. And if you want to go even further in supporting independent commentary, consider using Super Thanks. Every contribution directly helps us create more content just like this. This is Royal Family One, where we stand for truth, dignity, and fairness. See you in the next episode.